The family that prays together stays together. I am Seminarian Kelvin Joseph from Nyahururu Diocese, studying in St. Thomas Seminary. Today, we are going to reflect on how to prepare on reception of the Holy Eucharist. Allow me to first note this great aspect of the Holy Eucharist. The Holy Eucharist holds a central place in the Catholic faith. In fact, it is called the source and the summit of the Catholic faith, as it is noted and stated in the Vatican II documents in the Lumen Gentium number 11, because it is the most profound expression of the Church's unity and communion with Christ. As a source, you may say that it is where the Christian who receives the Eucharist receives the graces that are necessary for the spiritual journey towards heaven. We know that as Christians, we are pilgrims heading to our heavenly home. And as a summit or an apex, meaning it's the highest point, we say that, or we can say that it is the most profound way or the highest form or expression of God's worship and communion, whereby you can say that all the other sacraments, including baptism, confirmation, be it the holy orders, matrimony, anointing of the sick, and also confession, they all revolve around the Eucharist. Therefore, it's true to say that it is the source and the summit of our faith. Now, having noted that, I want to say that this sacrament of the Eucharist, its preparation must be paramount, because we are receiving Christ. And this preparation is a sacred act which should actually involve both the spiritual and the practical aspects, because it is a preparation that we need steps. I'm going to mention 6 steps that are going to guide us in the preparation of the reception of the Holy Eucharist. Step number 1, it is reflection and prayer. In prayer, we say that it's good to have some time of prayer, reflecting about this great mystery that is about to happen, of Christ coming into the holy species. And during this preparation of reflection, it's good to maybe ask for forgiveness from our hearts of the sins that we may have, and also thank God for this great gift that He's giving us of the Eucharist. Number 2, we have the confession, especially of the mortal sins. It's good to know that Christ is holy, and we are preparing to receive Him as He is. For Him to find a holy place to dwell or to accommodate Him, we need to clean our hearts. Number 3, it's the Eucharistic fast. Avoiding food or drinks is necessary for at least 1 hour before receiving the Eucharist. And this should be with the exemption of maybe water and medicine, and maybe for the cases that include health issues and age, these ones are exempted, but it is important to have the Eucharistic fast. Number 4, it is the active participation in Mass. This should be through listening to the words, the readings, and also by listening to the homily, involving in prayers, and also by being attentive to the liturgy, the whole of it. Number 5, it is the reception that we should now go actively to it. It should be in a very reverence form. It can be shown by a kind of a bow. And in this, if you decide to receive on the hand, make sure that the hand is clean, and you should always ensure that the left hand is always on top of the right hand, then receive our communion, the Holy Eucharist, immediately you receive it. If you decide to use the tongue, then make sure that you open your mouth properly with the tongue protruding outside for easier reception of the Eucharist. The last one is having a post-communion reflection. And in this, we should have a silent prayer whereby we should thank God for the gift of himself to us through the Eucharist, and having come to us and having given us the grace to become his disciples. Lastly, in John chapter 6 verses 50, Christ explains about the Eucharist as the bread that comes from heaven, that whoever may eat him may not die but live. The family that prays together stays together.